What's up, y'all? We back again. So in this video, I got fired 5 days, fired/quit 5 days before Christmas that just passed, 2024. So, right? And it's been great. It's been amazing. I have to be honest. It has relieved so much stress and tension from me and my day-to-day and my life. My quality of life has gone up so much. My job was stressing me. It was stressful. And it wasn't my main source of income. It was an HVAC installation specialist, which means heating, ventilation, and air conditioning in Florida. So I installed a ton of mobile home units, units in attics, you know what I mean, up there with the insulation everywhere, fiberglass everywhere. Oof, constantly breathing that in. But I don't work it anymore. It was, let's see, there was a big job, right? I was working for my dad's air conditioning company, which I had worked for, off and on sometimes throughout my entire life. What up, Pat? Hope you all right if you see this. But it's a small company that just had me, him, and one other employee, right? So now we've had more employees than that, but at the time it was just the three of us. So we had a large job coming up for a clubhouse for a 55 and up community where, you have 55 and up community that has like a little clubhouse with a pool around it and stuff. Usually that clubhouse was getting its air conditioners changed out, and they were giving X amount, and it was a big job that was going to take 4 or 5 days or something like that, back to back to back to back. So the way that we work out certain jobs is the cost per job. You know what I mean? Like he'll say, we're going to do this job, it's going to be this hard, so I'm going to pay you the X amount of dollars, $600, $400, whatever, you know what I mean, depending on the job, right, and how extensive it is. Well, I was supposed to make a decent chunk of money for those jobs. I was supposed to make X amount of dollars, right? So he put it off and put it off and put it off, like, we've been waiting for that job. The clubhouse, we gave an estimate to that place, and they put in for it with their people to get approval to spend the money or whatever, right? And they were waiting on that money for like a year, probably like 14 months or longer, actually. So it was like they had already been waiting for a very long time to get it. So it wasn't a huge ordeal. It wasn't a huge deal if it took us a little bit of time to install it, because they'd already been waiting for long. It wasn't a rush on it or anything. And not only that, but right when they finally got their money, was right when those 2 hurricanes hit Florida back to back. It was like a week before the hurricane hit or something like that. So we ended up getting a huge influx of work of people that needed help because they got flooded and stuff like that. So that pushed it back as well. So anyways, he pushed the job back, and then calls me up one day, right? Because we started slowing down on work, and says something about, hey, I'm going to go look at that job tomorrow and talk to the people, and how you doing? And I told him my kids were sick. My kids had just got real sick. Like, they all had fevers. So I was probably going to be sick. So I told him, I was like, look, honestly, my kids all are very sick. I'm probably going to be sick. So, let's not do it yet. You know what I mean? And he led on to believe, from what I got from the conversation, he was like, yeah, that's all right. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. That he wasn't going to do the job yet, right? Wasn't going to start because I can't work. And it was a job that was going to be very, very difficult. And the other 2 people that were working was my pap and my friend / brother coworker, Greg. And they're both older gentlemen. You know what I mean? They're both late 50s, early 60s, right? So this is going to be a very difficult, I do the physical labor, a lot of the lifting and heavy lifting and stuff. This is going to be very hard for them to do without me, this job. So the next day, he hits me. I guess he was in the, because I have 2.5 acres here. I have a rather large property, and the air conditioners come to my property from the jobs. He was in the back dropping off air conditioner. I talked to him. I called him and talked to him. I don't remember exactly who called who or whatever, right? But I ended up talking to him, and he said that he started the job. So I was like, I'm sick. I can't work. How can you? And he was like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Something I'm about to miss out on this huge amount of money, because it was a substantial amount. It was like what I would normally make in 3 weeks, right? In 4 days, okay? So it was like, I'm finna miss out. And we have this thing too where when an employee misses it, if Greg misses it, I've only had this happen to me once that I've gotten paid for it. But we had this thing where a couple times if Greg misses a job, we still pay him for the job anyways, right? And that's happened to me. I didn't remember, but my wife said that when we were pregnant with one of the kids, it happened one time and I got paid for it. But anyways, so I knew there was a chance he might want to give me some money even if I didn't go. And I don't expect you to pay me anything for something that I wasn't there to do, right? Because that is just absolutely absurd. But it's just kind of messed up because we had planned on it so far ahead of time. And I told him so many times, I was like, let's go do it. I want to go do that job. Let's go do that job for week after week after week after week after week after week after week. And then finally, when he was like, he hit me up and he's like, hey, I'm thinking about going and doing that job. I was like, I can't, man. I'm sick. And then he went and did the job, right? So that, I felt a little salty about that. You know what I mean? But, so I ended up getting healthy. It took them so long to do the job because they started it 1 week and then stopped and then went the weekend, didn't work, and then came back. That I was already healed from being sick. I wasn't sick anymore. So I went back to work that Monday and I helped them finish that job. So I wasn't there the whole, they were there 3 other days that I wasn't there. So now, then we had another job on payday, right, of that week, that Friday, I think it was. We usually get paid on Thursdays, but I believe it was a Friday. So I was picking up my check while I was there. But so when we go to do that job, right, it was a mobile home with ductwork, and right before I went, we moved the old unit out of the way, right, you know what I'm saying, and got the old ductwork out, I believe. No, we hadn't got it out yet. I was just getting ready to go underneath there, which can be very frustrating and aggravating under there. But either way, I'm be gone. I'm not gonna be able. It's not gonna give me an opportunity to talk back much. You know what I mean? I can't converse. It was a bad time to tell me bad news, right? So right before I went under, he's like, yeah, so that job that we did Brentwood. I was like, yeah. I was getting ready to go under the home. Like I was suited up, getting ready. I was going under. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna pay you like half for that job. And I was like, oh, you the boss or whatever, something like that. And I went underneath there and tried to not be mad. But as I was working, it made me irritated. You know what I mean? It was like he waited to do it without me, it felt like almost. So I did the job. I wasn't extra pleasant, but I wasn't nasty or anything. I wasn't walking around like, you know what I mean, or nothing like that. And when we finished the job, he went in to talk to the customer to wrap it up, you know what I mean, to finish saying goodbye to the customer or whatever. So I was outside with Greg, my fellow employee, and I gave him a heads up that, hey, I feel some type of way a little bit about how that all played out with the one job, the big job that I was sick during. And I was just giving a heads up that I don't want to upset my dad. I did not want to upset him, but I want to talk to him about it, you know what I mean? Because you got to keep the water clear, you know what I mean? You got to be straight up with each other. So we get back in the truck and we go to drive away. And I tell him, like, hey, Pap, I want to talk to you about that Brentwood job. And he was like, well, what are you talking about? I was like, I want to talk about that job, that one big job. And I'm not trying to upset you. You know what I mean? I don't want to upset you. And I said, I just want you to understand how I feel about it. Because it's like I got done dirty. It's like I feel pretty dirty. And he pretty much exploded on me almost immediately. He started immediately getting real loud, started getting angry. Like he was angry. And he's got his own things he's dealing with right now. You know what I mean? So, and you never know what somebody's going through. Everyone's got their own thing they're dealing with, right? You never really know. But, so I basically let him sit there and get loud and angry for a minute until he went to being like, and then I told him, I was like, well, man, I feel like I've been wanting to do this job for so long, and you procrastinated and pushed it back, and then you finally did it when I couldn't do it, and then you're like telling me pretty nonchalantly that I'm, you're not getting your half of your pay, and it's like, it's just, and it wasn't about the money, because he was getting all angry about the money. I was like, look, the money, it's because of the money, but it's not about the money, it's about the respect, because we had an issue before about something similar. So, but he blew up. He ended up blowing up, saying all kinds of rude things and being like, fuck you. I told him, I said, you too then, man. Fuck you too. part of my mouth. So anyways, that was it. I told him, he's like, your asses might as well be fired. And me and him never fight like that. That was such a rare occurrence, you know what I mean? That's why I know he's got something going on, like, that he's going through, and I pray for him, I feel bad for him. And I ain't got nothing to get, no bad blood against him at all. He knows that. I'm gonna be having him over for dinner, taking him out to dinner here in the next couple days. But, it was shocking and alarming for that to happen at that time, for me to just all of a sudden, well, I guess I retired HB early because I'm not working for HB anymore, hon. And then to, I mean, he's been doing good since then. He's doing good. And so, but that was shocking. But ever since then, it's been this weight off my shoulders of not having this dread of having to, because I would stretch myself very thin when I was working that job. Sometimes I would be working late into the night, 3 o'clock in the morning on my business, and then have to wake up at 7:30 and go do that job. And that wasn't something I had to do very often, because as an installation specialist, I only worked doing that. I only worked one day, 2 days a week doing that, and sometimes some weeks none. But still, the thought of working late and then getting that call of having to work the very next day and wake up early when I had like a big sale going on or something, so I knew I was going to have to work really late, and so that would put like a dread on me. I would go to getting anxious. I would, plus the fact that I have kids and one of them was a baby, so he can wake up and interrupt sleep. So it's like I'd work late, and then I'd go to sleep, and then I'd feel anxious about not being able to sleep and not get enough sleep for the next day, and feeling crazy the next day, or the baby waking up, and then the baby it was just madness, right? And it felt like something that it was something that I've been trying to do for so long. I've been trying to retire. I've been saying that I was going to retire this year for the last 3-4 years. I've been wanting to retire bad from air conditioning. But it's happening. It's finally happening. I hope that everything is good with y'all, and that if y'all are getting fired or whatever, having to find a new job, I wish you good luck. I'm praying for you the best of luck, that you gonna make it, that you gonna find something good and something better, and that it's gonna relieve stress from you and make your life ultimately just that much better. Yep. And if you enjoyed this video or anything about it, I appreciate it very much if you like, subscribe, comment, keep your head up. Until next time, peace.